Well, this is Donald Trump's is a TV moment for him. If nothing else, he knows how to get a lot of publicity, how to bleed a lot of drama. The lead up to all of this has been teasers all the way through in Twitter. So this is very consistent with what he does. And as was said earlier, this is pretty unusual.
Yeah, Jeff, what is interesting is in the past, like when Donald Trump went to Las Vegas after the mass shooting there, he met with the first responders, the medical workers, and that video was quickly turned into a campaign sort of style video, which they put out on social media. We saw something similar. We went to Texas during the hurricanes there. How soon will it be before we see these images turned around and put out on social media by the president as some kind of campaign message?
I expect before the sun rises, you will see something like that, without question. I mean, that is just the fact of life in the social media times. Certainly, this president, certainly aware of the images. So I expect his campaign to mention it, and he certainly will share this message.
Breaking news overnight: the 3 men formerly detained in North Korea have returned to the continental United States. President Trump on hand to greet them, saying that Kim Jong-un was, quote, nice to let them go before the planned meeting between the two leaders. Was Kim nice to imprison them in the first place? We're going to have full analysis of that also this morning.
When I hear Donald Trump talking about Kim Jong-un in terms of nice, saying he's nice, it's just first of all, who do you call nice? Who's kidnapped 3 Americans?
The president celebrating the return of these hostages. He's clearly very keen to get a win out of this. Would you be concerned that he might go into the negotiations with too much desire to get a win, and paradoxically that might kind of box him into a corner?
We have been witness to what has been a remarkable several hours here at Joint Base Andrews. The president is back at the White House. The detainees, the returnees now, are at Walter Reed Medical Center, but this is something that we'll be talking about for a while. It was a moment of intense anticipation. You had it all sort of very carefully choreographed, right? The vice president landed, the president, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and then that plane carrying these 3 American citizens. What was sort of striking in the moment, and you've talked already about the geopolitical implications of this, what this means for the summit moving forward between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. But what was striking was that this was, listen, Donald Trump's a former reality show producer. This was a staged production meant for television, meant for the cameras, meant to be shown and seen here in this country and around the world. You had floodlights lighting up this 30 by 50-foot American flag hanging in between 2 ladder trucks as the plane carrying these men rolled in. This moment when the president and first lady holding hands went up the stairs, spending 6 minutes in private conversation, and then unexpectedly, because we didn't think that was going to happen, unexpectedly coming over with these men and taking a number of questions from reporters who had gathered around in front, yelling questions, including about where the summit is, the president wouldn't say, including about whether he's spoken with Kim Jong-un, the president wouldn't say. He did call these gentlemen special people. This is a special moment. And then he also talked about his conversation with Otto Warmbier's parents. Warmbier, of course, returned in a very obviously different way. He came back in a coma after being treated badly in North Korea. He died a few days later. His parents have released a statement saying they're so happy to see these men